I'm Paula Asbell, and I'm talking about art a lot, so this should be fun. The title of my presentation is Being of Sound Mind, but that's just because I'm inspired by music and not any claim to sanity. This is by one of my favorite bands, the Avett Brothers. You could Google them. But I like that one. This is longer. I had a pretty sketchy upbringing, but it's really good for my art because I spend a lot of time in my room listening to Mazzy Star and Nirvana and harnessing a bunch of teenage angst to use when I grew up and right the world of all its wrongs. So I kind of grew up. I think I'm mostly grown up. These are my people. I'm responsible for those 3 lives. They're my girls. I homeschool them. It's pretty crazy around my house. We'll call it an adventure, but it's just madness mostly. But we have a good time. It's another Avett Brothers painting. We like to go to the beach, and I don't like to buy souvenirs because I'm cheap. So we pick up seashells and rocks and feathers. And I really like this one, just the contrast of it being a butterfly that's light, but it's really heavy. The seashells, and that was actually inspired by a Florence and the Machine song. This, Bob Marley, Can't Beat Bob Marley. I've actually done a few versions of this one. I done one for my friend's kid who has cancer, and another one who had a liver transplant, and I'm asked to do a few of those for them. So I don't necessarily have a lot of talent, but I can make someone's day better, and that's why I continue to paint. Also, painting is kind of like a journal to me. This is another Avett Brothers song. Basically, every day I hear a song and I want to paint it. So sometimes I do when I have time. And let's see. So I'm inspired by music, lots of music. This is a Yeti. He likes music as well. And I tend to just like murder a song. I find a song and I love it and I listen to it for a week or two. My husband doesn't like it. But I listen to it over and over and over until I get a good piece of art out of it, and then I can usually move on. Not very often. This is actually an important painting. It's another Florence and the Machine inspiration. But I was painting it, and it wasn't going the way I wanted it to, and there's a line in the song that says, and she washed it away down the kitchen sink, so I did. And that kind of started my style of wasting paint. Because I like to pour a ton of paint on and then use a ton of water and make it into something completely different. Like I did with this one. I like to make it crazy and then simple it down. And this is entitled Black Bear, and it's inspired by a local indie band, Everyone's Heart. And it was basically about a father leaving his young, but they used a bear to be the symbol of that. And I really like their music because they're a bunch of young kids who've had great lives in Williamsburg. Most of them grew up here. This is also inspired by their music. But they can convey emotion that they might not have necessarily experienced, and then I can take it and then convey it in another way in artwork. So I really like their music for that reason. This is one of my favorite paintings. And I cried after I sold it. And then I was into Fish for a little while. This is Jimi Hendrix, If 6 Was 9, and I just really love the feeling of that song of, if you can't change it, just don't care about it, let it be, let it, go on about your day, do what you can. This is inspired by indie band Warpaint, and I was just talking about, most of the lyrics are Call Me a Thief, and it just, in my mind, it was the red line was running away, and it's all this craziness up top and something completely different below. And I feel like a lot of people are like that. It's one thing up here and another thing down below, and most of the time we're running from something. This is called Cosmic Love, and it was inspired by Florence and the Machine as well. And it's simple, and it was really fun, but it didn't really mean a lot to me. But then my friend saw it and said that it was amazing, and she'd been waiting for something to buy, and I really like that I'm able to do that for other people. This was inspired by a Black Keys song, and I actually did this whole thing with just my hands. I paint a lot with my hands. And it was going to be a background for a sailboat, so I was cheating and doing the reflection this way, but then it just turned into something else, and it just kind of turned into a prayer for me when I stepped back and looked at it. So the sailboat never made it. This was inspired by another song, Brandy Carlisle song. But I did the background with markers and the design, and then all of the paint and the elephant. That's like I did that with my hands, and I don't ever sketch things. I don't like to sketch. I don't like to put pencil on canvas. I just like to wing it as I do life. This was inspired by the Smiths. There is a light and it never goes out. I was trying to actually have some kind of technique because I don't have an art background or education or anything. So I was like, I'll use this brush and do the whole thing. So I was really pleased with the way that one turned out. And then I used the same thing again for a Bon Iver song, Holocene, and it just talks about him not being magnificent in his hometown and all of this. And I really feel like we're really not magnificent, but then we really are. So it's just like a crazy concept to me, the whole idea of being magnificent. And this was actually, I painted over another painting that I finger painted, and it was total junk. And it was in the throwaway pile, but then this is Johnny Cash's cover of the song Hurt. And it just went to a whole other place emotionally, and it turned into something great. So, like, you know, you don't always get a blank canvas. You have to make do with what you have and keep going. And then I really feel like music can, like, convey where you are at emotionally in songs and stuff. But then sometimes you just need a wall of sound just to drown it all out. And so that's where the inspiration for this was. I just listened to a lot of music, and there you go.